Hello, welcome to the Carbon Impacts podcast. I am Riddhi, and today we're diving into some unprecedented climatic events. January 2025 turned out to be the hottest January on record globally, even as the La Nina phenomenon, which usually cools our planet, was in play. India too witnessed some record breaking moments during January as well as February. With us today is Kartiki Negi, lead climate impacts, who will help us unravel these unexpected anomalies and its implications for India and the world. Kartiki, to set the stage, could you give us an overview of what happened in the winter 2025?
Certainly, Riddhi. January 2025 shattered all the records by being hottest January ever globally. According to European agency Copernicus Climate Change Services, the global average surface air temperature reached 13.23 degrees Celsius, which was 0.79 degrees Celsius above the 1991 to 2020 average. Even more striking was that it was 1.75 degrees Celsius above the pre industrial areas, marking it as one of the most extraordinary monthly deviations in recent decades. Now, this record comes at a time when we would typically expect some cooling effect due to La Nina conditions. India, in particular, also did not remain unaffected. January 2025 saw third highest mean temperature since 1901, where the mercury reached 18.998 degrees Celsius, nearly a degree above the long term average. Now, the situation was even more pronounced during nighttime when the minimum temperatures had hit 12.51 degrees Celsius, marking it the fifth highest in 124 years. February 2025 was even worse by being the hottest February on record since 1901. Not just this, February saw all time high minimum temperature ever since the state run IMD started keeping records, while India recorded second highest maximum temperatures since then. Now, these compounding the heat was a significant rainfall deficit this winter season, which has been well below normal.
That certainly sounds alarming, especially considering how critical both temperature and rainfall are for livelihoods across the region. Kartiki, can we elaborate more on rainfall in the region?
Winter rainfall in India during 2025 witnessed a large rainfall deficiency uh, to the tune of 59%. Now, to be precise, the country recorded just 15.9 mm of rainfall against the normal average of 38.9 mm. In fact, all the four meteorological subdivisions of the country recorded below normal rainfall. Central India topped the list with large rainfall deficiency of 89%. This was followed by Northwest India, uh, which was rain deficient by 64.4%, South Peninsula by 45%, and East and Northeast India by 27%. Month-wise, February 2025 has seen the fifth lowest rainfall in last 15 years.
That's a dramatic departure from what we normally expect, right? Coming back on La Nina, which is often seen as a cooling influence on global temperatures, how is it that despite its presence, we witness such extreme warmth?
Well, that's a great question, Riddhi. La Nina is the cold phase of El Nino Southern Oscillation, known as ENSO. Now, this traditionally leads to lower global temperatures. However, what we are witnessing is a clear signal that the warming impact of climate change has grown so dominant that even La Nina's cooling influence is being overwhelmed. Now, essentially, the persistent buildup of these greenhouse gases and the resulting heat waves have shifted our baseline climate upward, leaving even with the cooling phases with little to counteract.
So, in simple terms, human induced warming is rewriting the natural playbook. Given these trends, what can we expect moving forward? Is there any forecast for the coming months?
Well, the outlook remains challenging and grim. Heatwave has made an early appearance in February itself. Several cities along the west coast, including Mumbai, reported heatwave conditions during the last week of February itself. Going on further, India is all set to witness above average heatwave days in the upcoming season that spans from March to May. Now, this has been predicted by India's nodal weather agency IMD. Now, IMD has also warned against the above normal maximum and minimum temperatures in the coming season. Now, with this, the country is all set to skip its spring season yet again. Hot weather conditions, especially during nights, would lead to several health impacts, especially for the vulnerable ones. Now, this rapid shift can disrupt traditional agricultural cycles, further strain water resources, essentially we are being forced to rethink our expectations about seasonal weather and prepare for a future where extreme weather conditions will become normal.
It certainly seems like there's an urgent need for policymakers and communities to bolster their resilience and adaptation strategies. It's clear that our climate system is evolving rapidly, and our responses must evolve with it. Thank you for those insights, Kartiki. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for sharing your expertise on this unprecedented climatic event. And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this exploration of January and February's record-breaking heat and its far-reaching impacts. As we continue to navigate these challenging times, we hope today's discussion inspires further reflection and action. Stay informed, stay proactive, and join us next time on Carbon Impacts as we delve into more issues at the forefront of our changing climate. Until then, take care and keep the conversation going.